Pope Francis has appointed 2 women to Vatican posts that were previously only held by men. Apparently, God came to him in a dream and told him he could pay women less. It was revealed that Freddie, the world's tallest dog, has died. The cause of death has been listed as ceiling fan. President Biden signed an executive order urging U.S. agencies to buy American-made products. Unfortunately, the only products still made in America are tactical gear for white militias and student loan debt. Drake has released a line of scented candles that smell like him. And unfortunately, so has DJ Khaled. Oh boy, a 102-year-old woman from New York who survived the 1918 Spanish flu has now beat coronavirus twice. But sadly, she was no match for my car. Residents in Rome are upset after a wild boar and her 6 piglets were killed on a playground near the Vatican. But it's like they say, nothing good ever happens on a playground near the Vatican. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. A school in Virginia is returning a wallet to a woman 70 years after she lost it in the school gym. Well, how do you like that? Said a black man still in jail for stealing it. With Raphael Warnock's win, Democrats in the Senate will no longer have to rely on Vice President Harris for tie-breaking votes. Harris can now focus on her main priority, waiting for a worse bike accident. Nike has officially cut ties with Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie Irving over his anti-Semitism scandal. Kyrie says he's so depressed he might jump off the edge of the world. A new album from R. Kelly was removed from streaming sites several hours after being uploaded. And it was not easy to remove his streams, said the maid who cleaned his couch.
On Christmas.
France announced that it will start providing free condoms for people between the ages of 18 and 25. Cool. Now do deodorant. Orthodox Jewish leaders in New York City lashed out at a newly imposed coronavirus restriction in their neighborhoods by setting fires and burning masks. And it's a miracle because the mask burned for 8 nights.
Come on, dude.
That's a good one. Come on. Stop it. Stop it. Pennsylvania police arrested a man who tried to rent a horse online so that he and his wife could have sex with the animal. But the man had no idea that the whole time he was actually chatting with a police horse. Thank you. Thank you. Almost 100 art industry figures have criticized 4 different museum plans to postpone exhibits featuring an artist's paintings of the KKK. But if you want to see portraits of Klansmen, you can always search Jost on Ancestry.com. Okay, well, whatever. In the wake of the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas, insiders praised President Biden's light touch when dealing with Benjamin Netanyahu. But in fairness, everything Biden does involves some kind of touch. Doctors in China removed more than 120 magnetic beads swallowed by a 5-year-old boy. Wow. Wait till his boss at the factory hears about this. Researchers in Nova Scotia have found a 50-year-old great white shark that they're calling Queen of the Ocean because he gay as hell. Man, Popeye's Chicken announced that they're bringing back Cajun-style turkeys for Thanksgiving. It's a rare piece of good news for people who spend Thanksgiving at Popeye's. Fisher-Price has launched an online museum showcasing its toys over the past 90 years. Or you can see them in person at America's most famous toy museum, the Neverland Ranch. Police in Ohio say that a report of a homeless man sleeping on a bench turned out to be a statue, which was a huge relief because they shot it 15 times. Tyler Perry is developing a new TV series that explores the origin of his character Medea, weirdly as part of his new superhero franchise, The Avengers. The U.S. men's soccer team failed to qualify for the Olympics for the third time in a row. But fellas, keep your heads up and remember that win or lose, you will always get paid more than the women's team. It's true. It was reported that adult model Belle Delphine is making over $1 million a month by selling her used bathwater, which is crazy because it doesn't taste that good. Israel is reporting that they vaccinated half of their population, and I'm going to guess it's the Jewish half. A former advisor to New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has accused him of sexually harassing her for years, making him the odds-on favorite for the 2024 nomination. You're not gonna like the rest of these. Cuomo denies the allegations, claiming that he would never be inappropriate to any broad with friggin' dynamite bazoombas.
Childish Gambino's This Is America made history when it became the first rap song to win Song of the Year at the Grammys. If you're wondering why it took so long for a rapper to win this award, it's because this is America.
Trump said him getting COVID was, quote, a blessing from God. And I bet even God was like, hey, we tried, guys. Starbucks has launched a new eco-friendly program called Borrow a Cup, in which customers return their cup after finishing their drink so the store can use it again. And Dunkin' Donuts plans to compete with this promotion by not doing that. The CDC is facing criticism for its mixed messaging regarding the coronavirus. And you know what? I have to agree with this because all year the CDC has been texting me saying that I was eligible for the vaccine, but every time I clicked the link, it was just a picture of this guy.
New Yorker reporter Jeffrey Toobin has been suspended after getting caught masturbating on a Zoom call. And he's from the New Yorker, so you know that jerk was dry as hell.
Oh my God.
The owner of a bakery was sued after she refused the customer's request to write "God hates homosexuality" on a cake. All right, then change it to "I'm running for president," said Rick Santorum. It was reported that North Korean hackers stole a number of military documents from South Korea, including a plan to assassinate Kim Jong-un, though all the plan says is, wait for diabetes. A candy store in Los Angeles has created a 440-pound peanut butter cup. It's called CeeLo.
At the conference, President Biden was asked if he plans to run for re-election in 2024, which is probably the nicest way to ask him if he plans to be alive in 3 years. Virginia has become the first state in the South to abolish the death penalty. So if you'll excuse me, I've got some white women to whistle at. During a congressional hearing, Mark Zuckerberg confirmed that he was creating an Instagram for kids. Wow, an app filled with pictures of just kids? I mean, what could go wrong? Yankees legend Whitey Ford died this week at the age of 91. Ford reminds us of a simpler time when you could just name your kid Whitey.
It is dark.
A woman in Slovakia helped arrest a man robbing a gas station by performing oral sex on him until police arrived. The woman was able to stall him for that long by being terrible at it. A New Jersey woman who posts pictures of herself rock climbing while naked says that it is not pornographic, but I don't know, that rock looks pretty hard. The makers of Aunt Jemima products, which have been criticized for using racist imagery, are finally changing the name to Pearl Milling Company. Pearl Milling is the name of the white lady who owned Aunt Jemima.
Took my hand and all is fun. I was was here so bad.
Tom Cruise was recorded on the set of the new Mission Impossible movie, yelling at the crew for violating COVID restrictions. Apparently, the crew was using camera tricks to make it appear like they were separated by 6 feet, when in reality it was closer to 5'4". A conductor of a bullet train is facing disciplinary action after he left the controls to use the bathroom while the train was traveling at nearly 100 miles an hour. But brother, that chili was traveling at that same speed. Taylor Swift has released an album of re-recorded versions of her album Fearless, which she first made when she was 18. Wow, that's impressive, because if I released an album of things I wrote when I was 18, I would be fired immediately. Texas police arrested a woman who broke into a man's house, stripped naked, and slept in one of his beds. The man called the police when he realized the woman was not attractive.
In Times Square returned a lost wallet filled with $4,000 cash to its rightful owner. When told how much money was in the returned wallet, the man replied, "It was reported that a Taco Bell in Chicago may soon start selling alcohol," which is weird because usually it's alcohol that sells Taco Bell. Disney employees were upset that the company took so long to condemn Florida's proposed Don't Say Gay bill, although at Disney they actually don't say gay, they say Timon and Pumbaa. This week, Jeb Bush said that he would go back in time and kill Adolf Hitler as a baby, a move that would have left Germany in the weak, bumbling hands of Adolf's brother, Jeb Hitler. A video has been posted of a porn star and her boyfriend having sex in a Tesla while it was driving in autopilot. And amazingly, no one was rear-ended. Apple has introduced a new line of emojis to represent people with disabilities, such as a person in a wheelchair, or someone who is deaf, or the governor of Virginia. According to a new study, marijuana is the safest recreational drug people can use. Huh, interesting, said a million black dudes in jail for marijuana. At this year's International Water Tasting Contest, Hamilton, Ohio won for having the best tasting water, while the town with the worst tasting water is Dookieville, Illinois. Archaeologists in Israel have discovered a 1,500-year-old winery. Wow, it's crazy that Jewish people have been making wine for that long and they still haven't gotten any good at it. A brand of peanut butter is being sold called Steam, which contains more caffeine than a Red Bull. Perfect for that creep who wants their dog to just go to town down there. People magazine has named Idris Elba 2018 Sexiest Man Alive. Idris Elba is also what your wife calls that thing she hides in her dresser. A man on an African safari fell off a horse while being chased by a lion. Well, that was a close one, said the horse. West Virginia has emerged as a leader in the country for distributing the coronavirus vaccine. They were able to get people to come in for the vaccinations by simply putting up a sign.